Hi everyone, it's Kay here. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm participating in the June challenge for a Facebook group called Papercraft Secrets, and they have challenges every month, and sometimes I don't always do it on camera, but this month I've decided I would do this one on camera. They've got a couple of options. There's two challenges running at the same time, and one of them is one page wonder cards or layout or whatever. So I've grabbed this one page wonder cutout thing from template, I suppose it would be called template really, from Pinterest, and so it's 5¼ inches across for the first line down, 3.5 the second line down, and 3¼ what's left, and this one goes down 4, 4 and 2, and it doesn't quite go 2 here. It's actually more than 2 down here, but it's fine. So it's 3.5 there, 4¼ here, and I think I measured that one wrong in my one that I cut up, and the bottom one is a diagonal across. Then there's 3¼ 3¼ and 5.5, because, and I'm pretty sure these are possibly American measurements for cards, because some of them are a bit long. So I've actually laid out what I've done. I've got this lovely beautiful page paper that I got from Spotlight, and the back is just plain, so I like to have the plain. And I've also done some mats from cardstock and another couple of collections, just in case I wanted to use them as well. So basically, because I mean, one page wonder, you can make the cards just from the one page, but there's nothing against use, you know, like that's what they say. If you've got one page you want to use it up, you can just use it up this way, kind of thing. But it doesn't matter if you want to introduce other bits and pieces. So what I'm going to do is, I don't want to mess up my. Basically, I just worked out what I, placed all my elements on the page. Like for this instance, it was like that, and then I just thought I could put that one on top of the other one, kind of thing. So it's just a matter of just playing and see what you like, and see how that works out. I actually don't know whether I don't know what to do. Start first. So let's have a look. Let's do a matte here first, or a grey, or a black, or a brown, green. You could do the matte. The thing is, because my paper is directional, I have to be mindful of the fact that I've got a B on there, and if I have it sideways like that, the B is going to be a bit odd. But you can create a card like that, and if you wanted to, you could even matte that bit in a black card. Just like that if you wanted to, which would give it a little bit of a bit of what's the word? I don't know. Can't think of the word. Class, neatness, tidiness. I don't know. So I'll just have to go along and just going to do a couple with you, and then I'll do a couple off screen. Just wanted to do possibly the trickier ones, because if I did them all with you, it would take forever, especially if I'm going to mat them all. Again, you don't have to, but because I end up giving my cards away, I do like to have them a personal preference. I just like to have them a little bit finished off with a bit of matting. Sometimes I don't always use matting. Sometimes I just use pen and ink to go around the edges of things, depending on what the card design is. So Papercraft Secrets is a Facebook group created by Alicia McNamara of Papercraft Secrets, who's also on YouTube. If you want to check her channel out, and she does beautiful layouts and cards as well. if you want to check her out. And I know there's a number of people from Britain on this group. There's lots of Aussies. If you sort of want to, because you know, like in a way, it's a lovely group, and so anyway, scrapbooking to me is a bit like sort of, you know, I think a lot of junk journalists were scrapbookers from my understanding. Don't want to have that matted as well. If I do that, I have to trim it up a little bit, because otherwise it's going to be too big for the card base. So I'm just going to trim it a little bit. And there's been a few people now, it's been mainly cards and scrapbooking pages, but people have done off the page projects, and there's been a few people sharing junk journal type things. Did I say I wanted to make that or not? Or just leave it wide? Something about black matting. I don't know what it is. Trouble is, it takes a lot longer. So I might just do this one and one more, and then a couple more. See how I go. I don't know how to. I know how to fast. I do know how to speed it up altogether if I do it when I edit it, but when I'm not talking. But I'm not too sure how to sort of fast forward it, sort of like in the middle of a video, because the program I use is quite simple. I hate complicated things. It comes easy as it's called Video Editor, and it comes free with Windows 10. So, and basically all I do with my editing is turn my video around the right way, because when I'm videoing here, sorry, I just realised I'm on an angle here, sorry to move you, do my videoing, and then what happens is it comes out when I'm looking at it on my iPad, on my desk laptop, that it's sideways. So I use my video editor basically to turn it around the right way, put a title page, and if I'm not talking, a bit of music, and then that's it. And then I upload it to YouTube. So I don't do a lot. I know people spend ages. I mean, I do with the ones with the non-talking. I do the working at the speed and stuff like that. How much faster I want it to be. So I think that's quite a smart looking card with all those layers, with the black and the white, and then you could put a greeting on there as well. So that's one. I'm going to leave that one because that's a similar sort of thing with the, I'll just probably just use the whole slash and just whole bit and cut off that doesn't fit, and just put the green and the black on the other side of that one. And this one I'm going to do the same thing. Or should I use this different mat? I'm very tempted just to use the green, but I've got a horrible feeling I don't have any more of that green. I've got a feeling I don't have any more of that green, which would be a bit of a disappointment. I actually don't mind the wood grain, and you can buy wood grain from papers from a variety of sources. I actually don't think I'll mat this one with the black because it's a different kind of thing. So, but this bottom is not very straight, I've just realised. So just trim it here so it fits just a lot straighter. And I think I will have to trim this up a bit as well, because it's sort of big down the bottom. That one there. fits. Is that weird? Isn't that strange? That is really strange. So that gives a totally different look just using the wood grain. I don't know, do I want black as well? I might just do a black edging with pen for that one. I think it just depends on what kind of look you're going for. I mean, that one definitely needed to have the black edging, matting on that one. But this one I think you don't need it because of the wood grain. I think it would look a bit, just realised because of the paper I'm using, it's got a hole in it, so I'll have to find something to put over the hole. Maybe a butterfly or something. Oh, there's bees on there. I don't know. Find something. I've got a bee stamp, so maybe I'll stamp it and then put the bee on afterwards. So this is from an old collection I've got in my stash. Well, a year old, I suppose. And because I've tried to do it sort of like that, but it didn't quite work. So I'm not too sure. It doesn't quite work. So, and you can make it sort of into two separate cards, like one card that way and another card that way. If you wanted to do it like that, you could do it that way, but I've decided to put the two together just to make it oh, it says me, I'll probably end up doing it totally different now that I've done that, now that I've said that. I cut that, didn't I? It would have to go with the green if I did decide to do it just with the, keeping it just the one. But I'm going to do it the way I said I was going to do it. Did I put the matting, did I put a tape on that one? I've forgotten. I did. Okay. How hopeless is that? Did it 5 seconds ago and I forgot straight away. Gosh, I'm remembering like a sieve. You don't have to keep the white border on the edges of your cards either if you didn't want to. You could just take it straight to the edge, which I could have probably done with this one. It's very windy out there today. It was nice and sunny and blue this morning and, well, bluish. I'm actually back in a t-shirt. Yesterday was 25 degrees yesterday, the warmest June day in, I don't know, 16 years or something or other. So what I mean by the black pen is I would go around the edges in the black pen. So I'm just going to do that later perhaps. There's that one there. And we'll do one of these small ones so you can see what I'm going to do. Be the same thing again. Just putting one inside the other because they fit quite nicely, like that. And you're using the other side of the paper for the matting on this one, so it doesn't really need a black matting. And do I want to have a green mat again? You can sort of create it up like that, like a and do the sentiment here, or just leave it in the middle and maybe put some trimming or something across it. Do I want to have a green? I've got brown matting here for the colour of the bee here. I think I need to go with the green. If I use the green, I'm going to run out very quickly. That's all right, we'll just use the green. So I hope you're all doing well and keeping away from flu and COVID. But then mind you, there's so many things going around. Last year, I think it was about this time when Tony and I got really sick with the RSV virus. So they say it's very, children of 5 are quite vulnerable for it, and they're trying to get a vaccine for it. But adults get it as well, and my Tony never gets sick. Well, no, he doesn't actually. Doesn't get sick. And he got really floored with his RSV virus. He was in bed for a couple of days, and that's totally unlike him. He slept a lot and really knocked him for 6. RSV virus is a respiratory virus, and he did go to see the doctor, and the doctor gave him some, and did he give him some antibiotics? I think he gave him some antibiotics, and told him he had RSV. And then he was sick for 5 days, and so I looked after him. And then towards the end of the 5 days, he started to feel better, and I started feeling crook, and I had similar symptoms as him. And even though I didn't go to the doctors, I think I had the same as him, but not quite as severe, because I actually ended up in bed for a couple of days, for a day as well. Not nice. Combination here of double-sided tape and glue. No system. Doing what I feel like. Okay. So I'm just going to turn you off, and I'm going to keep going, and then I'll show you at the end what I've done with my one-page wonder. Okay, see you soon. I'm back. So with this one, I did actually cut it down a fair bit, and I matted it on some black card and put on a black green background, and I used a Sharpie to go around the edges to make it blacker. And by the time I put a greeting across that, and maybe a butterfly or two, I don't know. This one I matted on some brown cardstock, and you saw me do this one. And for these ones, I had this one on a card and those two on a card, and I thought, why am I doing that? Because I could do this. I'll show you what I'm going to do with this one. So I'm going to help if I put it around the right way, and I'm going to do it this way round. Trouble is, I'm going to hide that beautiful flower. Doesn't matter. Can't have everything, because even if I go this side, it still has a flower hidden. And then I'm going to use the last card mat I've got with using this wood grain paper. So it's like this. So we'll do that. And then with this one, I thought that it looked a bit sparse, so I cut a bit of white cardstock, and I have punched it so that it would look alright. But now I've just realised how badly I punched that one, so I might have to do that one again. So I was going to have one down here and one up there like that, so it sort of looks quite, just to sort of give it a bit more prettiness, I suppose. I just need to do it again, because there's a bit of a glitch there. I didn't punch it very well, so I'll do that again afterwards. So I'm just going to finish this off, and then we'll be done. And I want to say, have a go doing a one-page wonder. There's loads of templates on Pinterest. Just be aware that if you're an Australian card maker, that quite often the measurements are in American, because they have a different kind of standard card size, and it can be a bit confusing. And so, but I like it because there's so many of them, and it's easy to do. It's funny, isn't it? Because when I was teaching, teaching card making in a class. I used to do it in centimetres all the time, but since I've been doing scrapbooking, because all the measurements are in inches, I've stopped doing a lot of my cards like this. All these measurements that I've got here are all in inches, but so I just worked in inches basically for that one, because those are American. Like I said, it's American. And they cut the paper up the same, but their card sizes are different. I think they have a wider, shorter base, I think. But I mean, you can just use those measurements and just like I do, just trim them down to sort of fit what you want, really. And it's up to you whether you want to use the matting like I did. You don't have to. You can just do it without the matting and just keep it plain. Just use the white back, you know, the card base just as the white. I'm not going to left it white. I just think that using the other colours makes it pop a little bit. Again, it's a personal preference. I quite often use a lot of white background on my cards, but for these I just thought I would give it a bit of background. And if it's not a background that you like, you can always create one with stamping and stenciling or anything like that. Pretty paper, isn't it? It's from the paper got from Spotlight, from DCW, or it was a DWC something or other. I never ever remember. There's 4 letters in it, and they bring out quite a variety of scrapbooking collections, and I'm glad I was able to find a use for this particular pretty paper. I've had it for a while now and I didn't really know how I was going to use it, so glad I'm doing this. Which way around does it go? Okay, this way around, this way around. Let's do it this way around. And again, I could take the marker and just go around the outside. If you don't like a marker, you can just use a black pen like that, or you can mat it, and, you know, if you wanted to mat it again on a different colour, black, even though this colour here is a very, very dark blue. So because I've done that, I need to do it here as well, because it's just to even it up a little bit, make it balanced. You can put bling on there, bows, butterflies, add, you know, you can add things to your cards to make them as much as you like. Greetings, which I haven't looked at yet. But quite like the way that turned out. I'm going to stick this one down so you can see. Is there a wrong way to this thing? I used a card thing. I ripped up a. I put this down on another card base, and it wasn't straight, so I pulled it up, and of course I wrecked the card, didn't I? It's a card base, so I had to, but I've used it now for creating this lace bottom. And like I said, I'm going to use this one here. I could just use it anyway and just cover it over with a. It's just really bothering me because I can't even like move it over. Could just put a bit of butterfly there. Or should I just put it on top like that? It looks a bit odd, doesn't it, really, like that? Just think it looks better that way around. Close to the edge. Leave a bit of a border. I don't know. What do you think? It's not straight for starters, even though I thought it was. It's not straight. But if I cut that, I'm just going to break it. So I'm just going to work out how I'm going to place that bit of it. That's how it's going to look. So there's my cards. A bit of a recap from my One Page Wonder template, and I'm really happy with the way they turned out, and I think that they were really, really nice to add to my stash, and I hope that you've enjoyed this today, and give me the thumbs up, make a comment if you feel inclined. That would be really lovely. I just love reading people's comments, and we'll see you again in a video. Thank you for joining me. Goodbye.